Go.
Hi, I'm David Reiner. I'm an anaesthetist at Rumbum Hospital, and before that I was working as an anaesthetist in Australia. I want to tell you today about my experience with Dudi, having had Botox just recently. So 2 weeks ago I decided I was going to have Botox because I was noticing some wrinkles in the corner of my eyes and wrinkles on my forehead, and I wanted to look younger. I wanted to look better. So I'm comfortable with Dudi's hands. I trust Dudi. I've known Dudi for a long time, and I know he's technically good, and I know he's a good doctor. And I didn't want any complications, so I got Dudi to do the procedure for me. I'd like to share with you what the procedure involved now. So Dudi, first of all, explained all the complications to me. As with any procedure, complications can happen, and Dudi didn't try and hide any of this from me. He got it all out front, and I was able to question him on all these complications. And a lot of my fears were allayed after this conversation with him. Once he'd finished describing all the complications, he then started the procedure. So what that involved was cleaning my face with chlorhexidine, so to get rid of all the bugs that are on my skin. And then he took a very small needle and proceeded to do a few injections around the corner of my eyes, and also here, and then a couple on my forehead to paralyze the muscles. These injections I was scared of, to be honest. I thought they were going to hurt more than they did. The needle was very fine, and he's got delicate hands, and it all went in very smoothly, and it felt like a whole bunch of mosquito bites. So there is a little bit of pain, but it's a very small amount of pain. And for me, the results are definitely worth it, and I'm very happy that I've had the procedure done. So I noticed changes on my face about 3 days after the procedure. So I couldn't quite raise my eyebrows as much as I could before. Sorry, I could raise my eyebrows, but I didn't quite get the expression that I used to get. And for me, this was funny because it meant my personality had changed somewhat, because my eyebrow furrowing was part of my personality. So that was a strange thing for me. One of the other benefits for me was that I actually can't get that angry now. That's funny to say, but when I frown now, this is me frowning, so I can't get that angry look on my face. So for my children, that's awkward, but I think overall I'm happy with that, because I'm not going to get that permanent line. You know, some people walk around with that permanent angry look, and so I'm happy not having being able to make that frown gesture. So after the procedure, Dudi cleaned up everything, took all the marks off my face because he drew some dots on there beforehand, and then he said he'd like to see me in 2 weeks, and I was happy with that, and he also gave me his phone number in case I had any concerns. So I didn't have any problems, and I didn't need to call him. He actually followed up with me a few days later, which I was very happy about, and then 2 weeks later he saw me again, and I looked at the photos before and afterwards, and he's done a tremendous job. I can't tell you how different I look from before and afterwards, and he shows you the photos. It's not like you're watching some weight loss thing on TV where they've changed the lighting or the colour. I'm looking at myself on the camera. I know what lighting was used, and I look 100 times better. My wife is happy with the result. I'm happy with the result, and I'm going to keep going back to Dudi. I think he's an excellent doctor, and I recommend him to all my friends. Thanks.